I don't understand how this works. It's not on my page. I
You
posted it.
as 5051, and you have to share it as you.
And welcome to the show. This is Pop Topics here on YouTube Live. I am one of your hosts, Matt Boyd, at Matt Neil Boyd, Neil with an A on Twitter. And with me, as always, is Casey Shaheen.
Hello, I am Casey Shaheen at Gym Class Tryhard across all social media.
This is the show with all of the media news you need and none of the opinions you want. Before we get into the show, let's do a little bit of house cleaning. There's a few different ways that you can watch or listen to this show. Hopefully, you're watching live on YouTube Live right now. If you're not, you can do that by going to the Facebook page, facebook.com/5051radio, finding the YouTube link, going to the page. If you're on the page, like and subscribe. Subscribe to the page. Once we get 100 subscribers, we will be allowed to get a custom URL.
What? They let us do that?
They will let us do that as long as
pretty cool.
people
Nice of them.
subscribe. You can also find archived versions of the video on the YouTube page as well. You can find archived MP3s on soundcloud.com/5051radio and on iTunes. Search Pop Topics in your iTunes store or podcast app. Also go over to 5051.com to download MP3s straight from the source.
Straight from the scores.
We've got all of our episodes of Pop Topics up on there, and we've got old episodes of We Drink and We Know Things, a Game of Thrones companion podcast where Casey and I would get drunk and talk about Game of Thrones.
Man, it's not over yet. It's not over.
And we also what's not over?
The Game of Thrones. Not in my head. I've been looking at theories.
It's never over.
Been going
The
over
Game
it.
of Thrones is forever. Yeah.
It's an endless game. It's a game.
We live in the Game of Thrones.
Do we?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you always have that chair, and I always have this chair. It seems like we always kind of.
Mm-hmm. Which one is the throne?
I feel like it's like a co-thronage.
Who knows? We also have, I did a podcast today with friend of the show, roommate, former guest on this show, Chance Willie. I did a podcast with him today. Quick little conversation about being in comedy, being an open micer in comedy, and also about various topics such as the dark web.
Mm-hmm.
We touched back up on the dark web.
Wow.
We talked about why black comedians have nicknames, and we also talked about journalism and politics.
Journalism and politics. Do you have a? Can we get a taste of the why black comedians have nicknames?
Yeah, my question
Tease
is
it up. Tease it up so people can download it.
Yeah, why? I don't know why. The vast majority of them, at the very least on this level, the level that he and I are on, have
burger.
Yeah, they have. And it's like far the ratio. It's not every black comedian, but it's like the ratio of black comedians with nicknames and white is way different.
What about white people think Larry the Cable Guy.
Larry the Cable Guy, sure.
But it's like rappers. It's like they don't go by their actual name.
That was my theory.
Travis Scott.
That it's a rapper thing.
It's a rapper thing. It's a hip hop thing.
It's an influence from the rap world. That's what I said.
If I can tag that up, I heard something really interesting on Get Up On this podcast today with guest. The guest was what's his name? The human. Lou the Human. Let's find out. Lou the Human. And he said that when he was growing up, he didn't understand R&B. But then because he's only 20 years old, and he's like, as I was a kid, I didn't understand R&B because I never loved somebody. And it's always about you. He goes, and that's why I was attracted to hip hop because I was never in love. And so it was I. So he goes, that's why I started rapping because it's about it's about me. I don't know shit about how I feel about somebody else, but I know about me. And then he said he grew up, fell in love, was fucking around, fell in love. He started writing youth songs, got into R&B.
Dang, Daniel.
That's pretty cool.
That makes sense.
That's a hot take.
That makes a lot of sense.
It's a good take. Shout out Lou the Human.
Yeah.
He only has 4 songs out, and he's playing festivals.
Well, hey,
the Day and Night
Festival. Got to
Festival.
be a pretty short set list.
Get this Day and Night Festival that is featuring.
Put on by Kid Cudi.
I thought it was. I wasn't sure. I didn't look at the lineup, but I know that the headliners are Chance and Kendrick, and that's his second show he's ever done. Was last weekend. His second show he's ever done with 4 songs.
Really?
Second time he's ever performed. What is that?
I don't know, man.
That's some Prodigy shit.
It's a good life. I want that life.
That's some Susan shit.
I want to start doing
Festivals.
I'll do a jazz fest. I'll do Renfest. I'll do fucking name that fest, and I'll be my best.
How about Fest?
As far as I'm concerned.
There's a Fest.
Like a festival about festivals?
Yeah.
I'll do it. Fucking sign me up.
Are you gonna perform?
Yeah.
Like do comedy, or are you gonna rap?
Both.
I prefer you to rap.
Yeah.
You could do like your take on Hamilton, your hot takes on black people.
I don't have any hot takes. I just have a lot of questions.
Mm.
I never act as if. Here's another one. Here's a very interesting question that I have, and it is just a question. Why is it labeled cultural appropriation for white people to have dreads, but it's not cultural appropriation for black women to wear weave? Because they're just wearing white woman hair that they can't grow themselves.
It's not white women hair; it's Indian hair.
No, it's Indian hair, but it's made to resemble that of white women hair because
like
they can't
having
grow
it
their
straight
hair
and
that
stuff.
way. Yeah, yeah.
I think it's because it's more aesthetic. Which yeah, I get it. Ooh, there was something about cultural appropriation I saw recently that if it comes up organically, I'll bring it back up. But if not, I saw some real fun cultural appropriation.
Well, I don't know if it's any more organic than it is right now.
Oh, what I mean, I can't remember it. So if I can remember it and then bring it back up, I'll do it.
Okay.
But let's get into the show. Man, how was your week?
I had a pretty good week. I had a good week. Football's back. That was pretty fun.
Yeet.
Really nothing better. Really nothing better than watching football all day. I'm not trying to brag, but I do have a Sunday ticket this year, and I have the Red Zone channel.
We're talking about something organic too here, man.
It's fucking glorious.
Not
the Red Zone channel. I'm still not a big fan of the Red Zone channel.
For fantasy football.
It's an
groups.
anxiety attack. Just waiting to happen.
So yesterday, Phil asked me a question. If he could have a minute of the show's time, the fact that you brought it up. Before you continue, Phil, can you talk about Sunday Ticket? You want to come over here in front of the camera and yell about it?
It's not
So
Sunday.
Phil is our producer, by the way.
It's fun that no one knows what he looks like, but he's an integral part of the show.
One day we'll do a coming out show. But
coming out show.
Right. I just have to. So you have Sunday Ticket.
Yeah.
Do you have DirecTV? Is that?
My parents do,
okay.
and I have the login for the.
So I was bamboozled by the NFL themselves with what they've been advertising.
I think I know what you're getting.
The
at.
NFL Game Pass.
Yeah.
I paid $100.
Yeah.
The way it was advertised to me that I can watch all games, including live sports events. However, the only live games that I get are ones that are on the NFL Network. I get replays of all the games.
Well, you can't.
I don't. Right. Okay. Right. But I wrote in. I'm like, hey, this isn't really isn't fair. I got this during the preseason to try it out, and I couldn't get it because it was blacked out in my local market, and I'm not able to watch any games. And they pulled the. Well, you didn't have the or you didn't cancel in time the free trial. And I was like, okay, well. That's really screwed up, and I don't really get any. Anyways, that's all I have to say. Fuck
So
you,
wait,
NFL.
no, hold on. Let me ask you some questions. So what games are you not able to see?
Any live game, unless it is broadcast on the NFL Network. I can watch every game after it has already aired to completion, but I cannot watch any live game unless it is being broadcast on the NFL.
So you're basically only going to be able to watch like 4 Thursday night football games because those are the only ones.
They were streaming Thursday night football games on Twitter last year.
Yeah,
and I thought this was.
They're doing that this year too.
I can watch more games there than I can with Game Pass. But let me just, they.
That's bullshit.
It is, and they pulled didn't cancel in time, so I'm whatever, and there's not much I can do about that. And
this is a new segment called "Fuck 'em."
Yeah, fuck them. Yeah, seriously.
Well, you know what else is bullshit about DirecTV that I learned on Sunday is that with Sunday Ticket is that they don't air local games and they don't air games that don't sell out. Do you know that?
That's part
But they don't air games that don't sell
That's
out.
part of the media blackout. It's blacked out if they didn't sell out the game. It's kind of like that's how they do that kind of stuff.
And I don't know why. The only reason I can assume that the NFL would do that is because they don't want people to stop going to the game and just watching it at home. But like, it's not like because I can't watch Green Bay at Seattle or Seattle at Green Bay, I'm gonna go buy a fucking ticket. You know what I mean?
And just to wrap this up, and I'll let y'all go. But it was advertised to me as a way that people who cut the cord or who don't have cable could get all of the games and whatever. Clearly not. But shout out to YouTube, who does. I can get my local stations via YouTube, and I get the local broadcast.
Yeah.
So I at least now get 4, 5, and 7.
Man, TV's confusing. Like I just got TV yesterday.
Why are people crazy?
Got like regular cable. We like added it to the house, so it's like it is kind of regular cable because we don't have just like the PEG channels and like the basic broadcasts. We have like CNN. Yesterday, as Matt came over to pick up a microphone, I was watching Ravens in the House. It's the Raven Simone show, taken like 20 years later.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, I don't miss TV. But what I do miss is being able to stream things when I want to, and I hate that I can't like AirPlay stuff to my Apple TV or anything. I have to plug in my HDMI cable, which becomes kind of a pain in the ass. It's just not easy. There's too much TV, and it's not easy to watch.
Yeah.
Let's talk about football.
I mean, but thank God I don't. Let's nip that leg hitting thing in the bud. I don't like the. I don't watch TV anymore either. It's just for sports, and the fact that like you pay this exorbitant amount of money to just for sports, and it still doesn't fucking work is a little ridiculous, right? Especially, I was reading a pretty interesting article the other day about how the NFL is like dying in the middle class. It was on The Ringer. It was like the middle class is abandoning football mainly because of like all these political issues that kind of get pushed under the rug, or there's all these political arguments and cultural arguments, and people are like, let me just watch fucking football. And even to the point where it's like the fact that fantasy football has like taken over the way people watch football, and then there's people like me that are just like, just let me watch like, where the fuck did third down go? You know what I mean? Like, where's my fucking football?
The third down brought to you by Pepsi.
I don't want to watch. I don't want to every 5 seconds just because they're in the end zone. Like, let me watch a full game. I want the commercials. I want punt. Where the fuck did the punt go?
No, they just let.
You know what I mean?
No one ever cares.
Like, I watched a red zone channel. Every minute we go to a new game.
Well, that's the thing. It's because it's for people that need the game to be faster. Even though it is a high intensity sport, they don't have time to watch it between plays. Like, when I was a kid, that would have worked for me. Now I'd prefer to just kind of watch and see how a drive works. Yeah, I would enjoy that.
Yeah.
But as a kid, I understand that. I understand that mentality, but I don't. You're the okay. I meant to bring this up. As far as football goes, Matt, you are one of the only people that I know that watches football and doesn't have a fantasy team.
Yeah.
And I think that is pretty cool.
I hate fantasy. I actively hate fantasy. I fucking hate fantasy football. It's ruined football. It's ruined fandom. It's ruined the way that football is played. It's ruined the way that football is covered. It's like it's not the same game anymore because I wasn't even a Titans fan. But when I was a kid and when I was a teenager, I would come home from church and we would watch a Titans game and it was just like, that's it. Like, it's just watch this fucking football game and just enjoy it. Just enjoy your time and just watch a football game. But now it's like with the red zone, it's like we're bouncing in and out of all these games. People are on their phones, like watching, like, oh, I wonder what my guy's doing in fantasy. Like, have a team, God damn it. And like, people are like, I'm a huge fan of Antonio Brown. Oh, are you a Steelers fan? No, I just have him on my team. What fucking team? You don't have a fucking team. You're not a general manager. Everyone thinks that they're like their own little couch coach. Like everyone's like
the Monday morning quarterback quickly became the Sunday all day piece of shit quarterback.
Yeah.
Like calling all the shots all day.
Yeah.
Like they're just trying to coach every team.
Yeah.
Like I really like it when someone has a hot take on a specific team about like because I don't know what they're talking about most of the time in terms of like, oh yeah, well we got to build up our O line and our backs aren't as strong as they could be, and we're a little bit weak on the if we had our line from whenever they talk about like days past and how to rebuild, even if they're bullshitting, I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because they're at least thinking critically about one specific team.
Yeah.
But they're not talking about they're talking about fragments of the league, and I don't necessarily love fantasy sports. I'm interested to like maybe play just to see, but I don't think that it would like make me enjoy the game anymore.
No, it wouldn't make you enjoy football anymore. Not even close. I feel there are people that have like 4 fantasy football teams that don't know a goddamn thing about football.
Oh, I hate it when a girl talks about it.
They see the numbers and they draft these guys, and it's like that's not sports anymore. Like, you're not playing sports. Thank God people don't really play like fantasy basketball and fantasy baseball, because those are sports you can just watch and people are like fans of teams.
You know, fantasy baseball started? The guy with the roster and the sheet, and he just keeping score.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love
the box score.
I love that guy.
Yeah.
He's just sitting by himself. He's got his radio on. He's just watching the game. Just fucking hates his wife.
Yeah.
Sad.
Yeah. That's why basketball is a game of the future, because you can't play fantasy you can play fantasy basketball, but it's not fun and it's way too much to keep up with. But people just don't, like, people aren't just watching football. Like, just watch a fucking football game.
Amen.
Just watch it. Last year I went to I think I talked about it on this show, but I went to on a Sunday, I went and watched the Patriots game at a Patriots bar that's here in Nashville. I went to Whiskey Rhythm.
Whiskey Rhythm, yeah.
That's on Division Street, and it was just like a room full of people just watching one football game. We all cared about the same thing. It was week 4. Brady wasn't even in yet, but we were all watching the game. We lost,
Man,
but it was fun.
I think you need to get high and watch Moana and realize that communism isn't that good. Because I watched Moana the other day.
Is that communism?
Remember, I got high.
Patriots
I watched Moana.
bar? Yeah, but what did that have to do?
Yeah,
with
you're all watching the same thing. There's one winner and there's another. There's just losers. And
Yeah,
then you guys win.
there's no losers in
You
communism.
might as well just been the Germans and they could have been the Jews.
I don't know if I agree with that. We were all just on the same.
I'm just trying to stir the pot.
We were the clan, you know. We were the Patriots clan, you know. We were just hanging out, not with a K, with a C.
It's a Boston team. It's definitely with a K.
And you just watch a game, and no one's worried about their fantasy stats. No one's. It's just annoying. It's ruined the sport, fantasy.
I would agree.
Mark my words, it's ruined the sport. That's all.
That was how your week went?
There was that. There was I did a couple interesting comedy shows, and it just worked. I did a comedy show in an apartment room, in an apartment complex lounge.
Whoa.
Which
Where was the
was pretty
apartment complex?
fun. It was in East Nashville. It was at Stacks on Main.
Dude, that place is so weird.
Stacks on Main.
It's like right next to the hood, but it's also like kind of hipster, and it's named cool.
Have you ever been inside it?
Is it swanky?
It looks like a college dorm in like 2077 at a college that I could not afford. Like it looks like a college. It looks like there's a lounge, video games, and there's a pool and there's a bar. The apartment complex has a event coordinator and like tries to get everyone in the in the apartment together to do shit.
Oh, you have like an RA.
And that was the comedy night. Was the event coordinator put together a comedy night? I did a show for like 26-year-olds that lived in the apartment. They were sitting on like couches.
How do they afford that?
There was
Are they young professionals?
It's super yeah.
You networking?
Yeah.
Is this the road?
Doctors? They were like young doctors. And they there was no microphone, there was no PA. I was just sitting on a stool. It was fun. It was really fun. It was very weird.
I love that.
Got really fucked up afterwards. Shout out to George Lincoln for inviting me to do that. And it was a good time. I had a fun time. That was my week.
That was your week.
A lot of football on Sunday.
Good boy.
A lot of football. Not on Saturday because fuck college football. But
I watched the Michigan State game. It was fun.
Yeah.
Good game.
Yeah.
Played Western. Beat them.
How was your week?
Interesting. As of today, if we don't count the one business beverage that I imbibed last night, I have not had a drink in 6 days.
Nice.
I went to the doctor, and I had a problem. I thought I got burnt. Daddy thought he might have gotten too close to the sun. Melted my waxed wings, made it feel like I was peeing fire. Turns out, it's not a UTI. It's not an STD. It's not anything. Turns out I hadn't been drinking enough water. So my kidneys were on fire. So after Alex Minerick, or guest the show last week, left, I spent the next few days just getting things done. I was like, I feel really uncomfortable. I don't know what's going on. We probably like blacked out 3 nights, and yeah, thought that I was gonna die. And I went to the doctor, and I couldn't have had a more fun time.
At the doctor's office?
Man, I like the doctor. I do. A lot of people like. First of all, if you're an adult and you say you don't like the dentist, go fuck yourself. Grow up. But it's like going to the doctor is the best because it's like a 3-pronged approach for me. It's like, first of all, I've been kind of building a case for that I'm sick for myself. I've been like putting it off, so I get to go there and I get to alleviate that feeling. Number 2, I'm allowed to be a hypochondriac because I'm just doing it under the guise of being precautious. And number 3, I get to cash in on my health care that I've been paying and not using. And for $10, if I go to a ReadyCare, I can either get it's like a 50-50 chance that I'm going to get a really good doctor or a really bad doctor. And the really bad doctor, that guy doesn't give a fuck. He's jaded. There's a reason he's working in a ReadyCare. but then you get that young hot shot where you can kind of like you say fuck around him, like he's got something to prove. Maybe like he's desperately in need for like affection. I like that guy, and I had him, and Jason took care of me. It was great.
Nice.
Yeah, so I got an antibiotic, and I started using the antibiotic as a reason to stop drinking for a little bit, and I realized I liked it. Number 2, don't tell a black guy that you're not drinking, because you know why?
He'll make you drink.
Nope. He'll say, "Why? You want probation?"
Oh.
Yeah, someone asked me the other day that, "Hey, you want a drink?" And I'm like, "Nah, man, I'm not drinking right now." He goes, "Why? You want probation?" I'm like, "Nah, man, antibiotics." And I felt like this is the whitest kid in the world. It's like, "No, I'm on antibiotics."
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was my week.
What happens if you drink while you're on antibiotics?
Apparently, it doesn't affect the effectiveness of it, from what I've read and what the doctor told me. But what it does is it increases the symptoms of like nausea and spinning and irritability.
Okay.
Because I'm on Bactrim, and Bactrim makes me into a real piece of shit. Get like irritated and angry and
Yeah. Yeah.
So that happened, and this weekend, man, I know you're watching football. You know what I was doing? Watching Irma.
Hurricane Irma.
Boy, did I have the best. I was watching the Red Zone channel of coverage from different places. I haven't tuned into Fox News for a minute.
Oh yeah.
Brian Williams was crushing on MSNBC.
You said
but
you
it's a little
have
bit too
been tuned
sizzle.
into Fox News, or you haven't?
No, I did. I watched in. I kind of red zoned it. I kind of hopped between channels to watch my coverage. And I think that brings us to format.
Speaking of Fox News and hurricanes,
We're bringing you all the media news you need. None of the opinions you want. This week, Hurricane Irma came on the heels of Hurricane Harvey, and it was a sight to be seen. Millions evacuated from Florida, rightly so. Millions out of electricity for weeks. And on its heels, Hurricane Harvey. Let's go.
this story comes by way of Yahoo.com. The Yahoo News section was written by Harriet Alexander. Florida gun owners encouraged to, quote, shoot the storm, end quote, and fire their guns at Hurricane Irma. Flawless logic, if you ask me. A Florida man who suggested shooting guns at Hurricane Irma out of, quote unquote, stress and boredom has found that his idea has captured people's imaginations, with over 46,000 signing up to join in. Hurricane Irma is due to hit Florida on Saturday, and the state is currently experiencing the largest ever mass evacuation due to a hurricane in American history. But Ryan Edwards, 22, came up with a novel way of amusing himself during the storm, firing bullets into it. He started a Facebook event, and as of Friday evening, 46,000 people say they are interested. Quote, a combination of stress and boredom made me start the event, end quote, he told the BBC. The response is a complete and total surprise to me. I never envisioned this event becoming some kind of crazy idea larger than myself. It has become something a little out of my control. Oh, you mean like a hurricane? Graphics suggesting how to shoot at a hurricane have sprung up online, with the suggestion that if you fire correctly, the bullet might not come back and kill you. Oh, thank God. It'll just come back and kill somebody else.
So, like, the thought of them shooting the hurricane is like, it's going to come back because that's how it works. But it was a 400-mile wide hurricane. And here's my question. If they did shoot it, wouldn't it be cool to get hit by a bullet shot from a gun from the shoreline?
No.
If that bullet was able to be lifted,
It'd be the coolest way to die if you had to die.
185 miles an hour. That bad boy is going 100. So you shoot a gun. I don't know how many miles per second, or how many feet per second, but it's going to go. It's going to hit there, and it's going to go all the way around 400 miles. And on its return trip, it might make it out of the orbit of that sweet, sweet hurricane. And if it hits you, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, but I don't want to get shot by anything, let alone a hurricane.
By 22.
Okay, yeah, fine. If it's just a 22, yeah, go ahead. Shoot me now.
In the leg, please.
Since Mr. Edwards came up with his master plan, other similar Facebook pages have been created, including one suggesting using flamethrowers to scare away the storm. Quote, join me in this fight as we shoot flames at Hurricane Irma and dissipate her on the spot. You can't fight fire with fire, but you sure can fight tropical winds with fire, apparently.
Is that a thing?
That's what Florida thinks.
Well, they put out a response that said,
Who, Irma?
Yeah, Irma called.
Hands up, don't shoot.
She's like, she or the one of the police like precincts or police departments put out a thing that said, "Hey guys, just don't shoot it. It's bad. You're putting more debris. It's putting us in danger. We've evacuated people, but just be cool."
Yeah.
Do you see people like praying the storm away in Miami days before it hit?
No, I did not.
There were people praying the storm away. There is an article where you see a bunch of people just have their hands out on the beach praying. Like, it's nice to know that they took at least a couple hours to stop praying the gay away and try to pray something that really matters.
Yeah.
And it was Irma.
Guys are doing that because we finally, nature will finally help us weed out the stupid. That's what
But it didn't.
Hopefully, well, we don't know.
Those people evacuated.
If you're watching right now, keep trying to pray the hurricane away. Please. Please. I pray that you keep trying to pray the hurricane away because we don't.
Well, we're experiencing
we don't
a
really
hurricane
need
right
you
now.
anymore.
All this cloud covers Irma.
Especially if you're shooting at the hurricane. Fucking keep shooting. Just keep doing it, and hopefully it'll just come back and bite you in the ass. I can't believe people are. I actually can't believe people are this stupid, but I can't believe that they follow through with this kind of shit. I'm just gonna shoot at a hurricane. People are putting fans.
Oh yeah. People said direct your fans southeast.
Uh-huh.
People said fidget spinners to push away Irma.
Uh-huh.
There are.
Dicks out for Hurricane Irma.
It was run like Naruto in the park to get rid of to be an airbender.
Well, I think those people are being facetious.
They are, but there are
the
some people that are genuinely praying.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. There's that doesn't surprise me at all. I went on a mission trip to Guatemala, and in Guatemala it like rains a lot and it's very hilly. And we were in like the shanty towns of Guatemala. Everyone's just living in these like aluminum shacks. And when it would rain,
Which, by the way, better amenities than a Radio Shack.
if you are like, if it's raining and you're downhill and you're in a shack, like the rain's just gonna their houses like flood just like every day there's a flood in the house. And one time it was happening while we were building more houses for them or whatever, and there was one guy that came with us from Tennessee to Guatemala that tried to pray the flood away instead of helping children up on bed so they don't drown. He was just like, here, I got this. And he just started praying the rain away. And a little kid got like washed away and we couldn't find him for like a few hours.
Wait, like the kid was gone for a while?
Yeah, and it was like...
that was Huck Finn. He was on an adventure.
It was like, yeah, maybe that wouldn't have happened.
Was he a Guatemalan kid or was he a white kid?
A Guatemalan kid.
Oh.
Yeah, we weren't taking babies to...
If it was a white kid, though,
yeah,
you know that they would have like made like a link.
Well, he probably would have been on a leash if he was a white kid. So
I only see little Guatemalan babies at Disney World on a leash. I love kids on a leash, man.
Do you?
I do.
Feel bad for them.
I do too, but I mean, I'm just glad that it's not my life. But at least I can experience it. I don't want to have to be virtuous all the time.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Sometimes I get off my ivory tower just to stretch my legs.
It's a good point. It's a very good point.
So I'm going to talk about Irma for a second.
Okay.
So on what day did it hit? It hit Saturday. I watched a guy on Weather Channel. By the way, Weather Channel, throwing heat for coverage. CNN, go fuck yourselves. MSNBC, Brian Williams, he knows how to make it sizzle. It's not as good as whatever the Weather Channel's throwing down. All these no names they would talk and they would teach you how hurricane works, which I loved. And they showed me destruction, which I love. It was like watching Bill Nye. There was a guy in Naples named Matt or Mark, and he was a meteorologist that had never witnessed the eye of a hurricane. And I'm assuming, and I'm going to build a backstory behind it, he was probably the third man down the totem pole. He didn't get first pick of being in like the line of fire because he was in Naples for days. I remember I'd been watching this for a week. He'd been in Naples for days anticipating what it was going to be like. Well, the projections said that it was going to go to the east coast of Florida. It ended up turning into the Gulf of Mexico and hitting the west coast, right at Marco Island, which is just south of Naples. He was stationed there. He saw this as an opportunity to finally see what the eye of a hurricane looks like. And I watched him I want you to guess how long I watched him just get abused and like vamp, as if it was like the worst stand-up set ever. Just genuinely like, yeah. And I'm amazed by the fact that if you can look, the trees over here are still up. They're rooted really well. The winds are gusting. He's like soaring one way or the other. He's getting beat down. Sometimes he's in a conversation with the person at the desk, and she's just like, "Are you okay, Mark? Are you okay?" And he's like, I'm good. I just want to see that eye." I want you to guess how long it took until that I stopped watching.
Like 5 minutes.
An hour and 40 minutes. I stayed glued.
He was just out in the rain for an hour and 40 minutes?
Longer than that.
Yeah.
But what happened?
That's when you quit. How do they never quit their job?
But here's the thing. He wanted to see the eye so bad, and they were anticipating that it was coming. And here's the thing. As the eye moved up, he was right here in Naples. The eye moved up, and he got right inside the wall of the eye, and then it moved inland. So he maintained it, and the western wall was hitting him. He only got inside of the eye for what was no more than 10 seconds. It was just a little let up of rain. And then a gust, the eye wall just went in and just swept him away. Like he ended up like flying towards this grassy knoll. And then he was like, that was the greatest thing I've ever seen. Like he said that brief moment of refuge from 100 mile an hour wind with gusts up to 135 were the best moments of his life. Is that brief interval. And I venture to say it was probably the best piece of quality programming I've seen in a very long time. I'm not kidding. There's no irony here. I wanted to make him a medal. I wanted to hug him. Because he's guaranteed he's going to have wind.
He should have just buckled himself to a palm tree. They were rooted so well. Just fucking, just plug yourself up to it and just sit on
I loved it, man. I love watching the Weather Channel. And,
you know what I was just thinking about was why don't we talk about how culturally insensitive it is for the University of Miami to call themselves the Hurricanes? Like those things kill people. You know, and you just call yourselves the Hurricanes.
Well, I mean, they call
that's
them the Braves.
insensitive.
The Braves used to kill people too. We got rid of them. Hey.
But like, imagine if it was just like the Ole Miss lynchings. Like, well, you can't just name yourself after things.
Well, I mean, that's
that
not
you're
too far off.
It's so crazy that they call themselves the Hurricanes. Like that's like like that's just okay.
You know, Pelicans kill tons of fish, but they're also
the Oklahoma Trail of Tears. The University of Oklahoma Trail. They are called the Sooners, which was what happened right before the Trail of Tears. So
that was when
the
Sooners. You know, that was a group of ladies.
The Sooners.
The Sooners. They came out. They were like a rebel group.
Well, I know what the Sooners are, but they were all they weren't all women.
Most of them were women. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Fact check me on that, but I'm.
I don't.
Sure
I was about to say.
I'm
not
positive.
sure.
There's like the most famous Western settlers were women. They were like the people that would go before the gunshot, where you could run to your claim.
Here we are, women just running after gold like they always have.
Yeah. Amen.
You know?
Amen. Man, I loved watching Irma, and it was really fun. I had a good time. I knew there was destruction on the way. Friend of the show, former guest of the show, Hollis Wheeler, was in San Juan during the hurricane. He's fine. He was posting Daquan memes on the group Instagram no more than 3 hours after it hit.
Yeah.
So I know that he still had electricity, which was nice. And former guest of the show, Matt Eastwood, holed up in his house outside of Orlando, which I believe is where he's at. Tons of food. They're all safe, guys. Just in case you're keeping track. They're all safe. You want to keep on hurricane coverage? Because we got stories.
No. I don't want to talk about the hurricane anymore.
What about
natural disasters scare me.
What about the
they make me scared.
They scare me. I'm gonna look up this one. Okay, so read this on Fox News. Actually, I'm just gonna pull it up on my phone because I have it here right now. So the people that evacuated, they were mandatory evacuations. You had to leave, and if you didn't leave, they weren't gonna help you out. There were some stores that didn't close during the evacuation times. One of which, and this comes by way of FoxNews.com, Pizza Hut threatens evacuating Florida employees with disciplinary action. A Pizza Hut. Your take, restaurant managers, do they go too far?
Yeah, of course. There were What was the disciplinary action that they were going to fire them?
Well, let's find out. So it says right here that Pizza Hut threatens evacuating Florida employees with disciplinary actions. Conzoe Fox News posted on September 11th. Glad they're spending a time remembering. Hurricane Irma caused massive destruction to Florida, but before the storm made landfall, more than 5 million residents, that's 1/3 of the state's population, by the way, were told to evacuate for their own safety. Governor Rick Scott even issued a plea for residents, leave now, don't wait. As people heeded Governor Scott's that's a lot of preamble. In a now viral post on Twitter, a Pizza Hut team member shared a photo of a printout pinned to the corkboard that advised Pizza Hut employees on hurricane, quote, guidelines. The paper was addressed to all team members. It starts with the expectations as Hurricane Irma approaches Florida. It said, our number one priority is safety and security of our team. But we also have a responsibility and a commitment to our community to be there if they need us. To be there when they need us. As if that's very presumptive. With that said, we need some guidelines to be in place. The sheet continued that the store will close 6 to 12 hours before the storm. But if they plan to evacuate, they must alert a manager and let them know when they plan to return, citing that the member is only allowed a 24-hour storm grace period. The disciplinary action would probably be it says you cannot evacuate Friday for the Tuesday storm event. I know what, I get it. It's a bunch of shitty Pizza Hut employees, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're definitely taking advantage.
They're just using it as an excuse, you think?
Yeah, dude.
They're using the hurricane as an
They're in
excuse?
Florida. They want to go get high.
Yeah, but I mean, that's like a pretty good excuse.
I mean, I would agree. I don't know what the disciplinary action is, but they said that they are uncompromising their commitment to continually reaching for the highest standards.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure that they want the managers want them to stay there because they want to serve the community.
I think that they're just pissed that that they're the key holder and they take their jobs way too seriously.
Yeah. That's pretty fucking stupid.
I think it's funny, and I want to talk to all millennials for a second, or people that work in a restaurant.
You listening?
I noticed this recently.
Hello, get off a Tumblr and fucking listen for 2 seconds.
Hello. It's amazing how much, when you bitch about work, how much you let a restaurant manager dictate how you feel about a specific day.
Mm-hmm.
Someone that just manages a restaurant. And when you're in there for 30 hours a week, you're like, I'm in here all the time. Yeah, I guess this is their domain. It's their dojo. No, it's not. You're a person. Don't let a restaurant manager do anything say anything to you because they're the worst. I just wanted to let people know that they don't have to listen to their managers.
No, you don't. But then
you can quit.
Then shit happens if you don't listen to your managers. You get fired.
Yeah, but then you can go get another serving job.
That's true. It's very true. It's a circle of life.
Yeah, that's all I got on Irma, man.
Yeah. Stay safe. Try not to die. Don't shoot at the hurricane. Don't pray away the hurricane. Just leave. Just move. Get out of there.
Jose's on his way. What are you gonna do about Jose? Deport him.
Fucking move. Let's just let everyone get out of Florida.
I don't want people from Florida here all the time.
Well, I don't want them to die though. Not all of them. Some of them.
Like who?
I don't know. Just the people. I don't know.
There's
got to be some bad people in Florida, right?
Yeah.
There's bad people everywhere. So if you're a bad person, stay in Florida.
How many of Rick Ross's wing stops do you think?
Oh my God, in Dade County.
There were 13.
Oh, we're losing all of them.
There's 13.
He's
I wonder how many.
out.
I mean, I'm waiting. Complex. Hello. Hey, Complex. Complex.com. I need that story, please.
Yeah. You think Rick Ross is letting people get out of work for the hurricane? It's Kane season.
Kane season. Kane is in the building.
Uh-huh.
Which, by the way, been watching Ballers.
Uh-huh.
Oh, dude, I love Ballers. I'm just a big fan. I even wrote that in the notes. I just want to talk about why it's the best show. But what's the song by that Drake and
Right
Lil Wayne?
above. The name of the song's Right Above It.
Yeah, Right Above It.
Uh-huh.
What's the opening drop? What does he say?
Someone's in the building. That's like the DJ, whatever the DJ's name is. I think it is Kane is in the building.
It is. I thought it was Haters in the Building. And I thought that the song, that made sense. Haters in the building, right? Like Kane is in the building.
Yeah.
I saw it on closed captioning yesterday. I was like, what?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Man, I don't
DJ Kane? I don't know. I have no idea who it is.
Producer.
I have no idea who Kane is. I mean, I know who Kane is, but I don't know who that Kane is. I doubt that's the same Kane.
Oh yeah, is he running for mayor of Knoxville? Kane, the wrestler. I think we've talked about that on a previous episode. Kid Rock too.
Kid Rock, yeah.
The Rock.
Yeah, for sure. What are we talking about next?
Let's talk about
PewDiePie?
Let's talk about PewDiePie.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
This story comes by way of the Washington Post. PewDiePie said the N-word on YouTube. The internet's most famous gamer is out of excuses. It's written by Alex Olheiser.
It's so dumb.
PewDiePie, a.k.a. Felix Kjellberg, has more subscribers than anyone else on YouTube, and on Sunday, he angrily used the N-word during a live stream that has since been seen by millions. In the now-deleted video, Kjellberg was streaming himself playing PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Furious at another player during a tense moment in the gameplay, the influential gaming personality said, "What a fucking N-word. Jeez, oh my God, what the fuck? Sorry, but what the fuck? What a fucking ass. I don't mean that in a bad way." Oh,
Do you mean ass in a bad way?
I think, yeah. Yeah, he didn't mean ass in a bad way. He certainly meant the N-word. Did not mean ass in a bad way. Now, if you haven't seen this clip, it is hilarious because it wasn't even like it. Like he was just like, you fucking, and like just so plainly hard R everything, just out of nowhere. Just like it was like he says it all the time, because he probably does say it all the time, and it was pretty bad.
I feel like since we can't say like you can kind of turn people off by saying FAGGOT, not spelling it.
Faggot.
Yeah, I don't like saying it, but the way that cuck is now like the new way to say it.
Yeah.
I think we need one for the N-word.
Well, cuck is like I heard.
But it's like the new way to say it.
Ari Shafir has a really good point on the word cuck. Is that cuck is so awesome because it's like today you call people cuck that back in the day you would call a faggot, but the problem is when you call people faggot, you're offending a group of people that don't deserve to be offended. But because like if I called you a faggot right now, I would offend gay people. I'm not trying to offend gay people. I'm trying to offend you.
Yeah.
If I say cuck and you get offended, that's because you are a cuck. And the only people that get offended are cucks. It's the same way with the word cunt. Is that the only people that get offended at that are cunts. It's like and bitches.
I think anyone that gets offended at anything is really just kind of a
Yeah, sure. But that's true. I think that I don't know. I think that literally everyone involved should get a little should start to support using the word cuck, because
I love cuck.
It's it's not derogatory towards really any group of people except for cucks.
And the best part about it is that if you get on now, you can throw it into casual play.
Yeah, buy in early.
The day.
The cuck stock is large.
It's large. Like you buy low, you're gonna sell high. You're gonna be on the top of the trend. When we did trivia last Wednesday at Beer Cellar, our team name, the Cucks. The day before, I was trying to lobby for us to be three cucks, a girl, and a pizza place, because cuck is fun and you can say it. You can get away with it.
Yeah, it's not. It's not rude. It is rude, but it's rude towards the people that are. It's rude towards cucks. And, that's not like a marginalized group of people. Well, if they are marginalized, it's because they like it, That's the only time a cuck is ever... The only time you put a cuck down is actually the best part of his day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you call him a cuck, it's like, oh.
Yeah. Anyway, don't PewDiePie, don't say the N-word. Also, the worst thing about this... what did he get in trouble for? He's been in trouble before. What did he get in trouble for?
Using a website like Fiverr, which is the website where you pay people $5 and they do stuff for you. He got someone to dress up in something in like really weird something in another country and hold up a sign that said "I hate Jews."
Yeah. That guy, that should have been the death of him. I don't really understand why. I certainly haven't heard about him since that happened. I thought that was like kind of the end of PewDiePie, but apparently he's still fucking here. He's still doing bad shit.
I'm so ready for that brand of humor to die, and I'm going to deem that brand of humor Spencer's Gifts. I'm just going to call it Spencer's humor now. It's just like Insane Clown Posse, like dildos, but like also like neat, weird, chains or something. I don't know. It's just shitty people with bad jokes, farts,
Yeah.
whoopee cushions.
Yeah.
But like whoopee cushions that say the N word. It's just, I'm ready for it.
That's a very sophisticated whoopee cushion.
a good
That can
idea.
enunciate the N word.
I've heard dogs say it before.
Have you?
On YouTube.
Oh, yeah. I mean, hope this is like one of those very few times where it's like, yeah, I do hope that this little subsect of gaming culture, because this is certainly a very small, very vocal minority of the gaming culture. These like the PewDiePie types, or like the ultra nerds, the Gamergate people, these fucking dark dwelling dweebs are like
Good
a
alliteration.
they suck. They're the fucking worst people in the world, and they do kind of, for better or worse, definitely for worse, they kind of represent just like video games in general. Because when you think of video games, of course you're going to think about the gamer that has the most subscribers on YouTube out of anybody ever. Is of course you're going to think of him, and you know, he does shit like this, and so then people blame this on video games, which sucks because the group of 12-year-olds on Call of Duty that call you the N-word and are fucking your faggot mom, like they
Are hilarious.
that is a very small group of people, and there are just a lot of cool people that play video games and are like nice, upstanding citizens, you know. And it really sucks that this is the group of people that like it represents that whole art form or like entertainment medium, you know.
Yeah, they're the most.
But
tech
hopefully,
savvy.
I mean, you know, and it's weird that specifically the Washington Post coverage of video games, which is where I just got this article from, is there's been a lot of heat thrown at Washington Post about
Cultural appropriation.
no, about the way, or I guess just big newspaper in general, or big media, big journalism in
Trying
general.
to stay current and cool.
Yeah, like always undermining these like guerrilla groups of advertising and exposure, because it's kind of like it's destroying the old way, the old guard.
Can you give me a hard example of that?
Like yeah, like when Washington Post originally covered PewDiePie, and they attacked him very ferociously, both right before and right after the whole death to Jews or whatever, the PewDiePie thing. And people kind of saw it and reacted to it as in like, oh, you guys are just going really hard because he's a threat to big newspaper. Like he's a threat.
Yeah.
He's a threat to big journalism. He's a threat to the old guard, where millennials aren't going to WashingtonPost.com. They're on YouTube watching 5-minute YouTube videos instead of going to MSNBC or going to, like, there's always those, the old way is very heavily attacking this new way because they're trying to silence it and make sure it doesn't take them over. And there, and it's weird because it's like, I don't know, how do you look at this PewDiePie Washington Post thing where it's like they're right, but what is their motive? Even if they're right in this situation, like what is their motive in always attacking the way that the new guard is doing things?
The Washington Post is generally pretty liberal. They're pretty
yeah,
and they play that.
But it's not really a political thing. It's a
I think
it's a business thing.
I think
it's
it
a
is.
business thing.
I think it's easy to lump in the alt. I think it comes down to, well, politics became business pretty quickly.
Sure.
In the last couple of years, I would say that because the alt right can be linked to video games, 4chan culture, Reddit culture. Reddit's a little more mainstream now, but I think that since
But it's certainly alternative.
yeah, certainly. The fact that people would, I don't know, I think that's easy to lump them together. So it's easy to kind of kill two birds with one stone,
Yeah.
taking a political stance while also undermining.
Yeah.
So I think it's twofold.
Yeah.
I was just running that
Yeah.
through me. Yeah. So that seems like it makes sense to be like, that's the alt right. See, look at us. We're old school. We're
Yeah, and
good.
it's like you're not necessarily wrong, but I don't really trust your intentions.
Yeah.
It's hard because in this situation, like, I'm glad that we're putting light on the way that PewDiePie acts, because there's a lot of people, and there's a lot of people's children
kids love
that
him.
watch PewDiePie every time he puts up a video. And it's really good to get the exposure out there, so to let people, and especially parents, know, like, hey, this is the guy that your kid watches every day. And so now maybe they don't watch it anymore. Maybe we don't really encourage the way that PewDiePie and people like him act. But at the same time, it's like,
But that's like saying
They've also been wrong in the way they've covered stuff like this.
Well, you're starting to sound like Tipper Gore now when she talked about putting the parental advisory sticker on rock music in the 80s. Like she would come and she wanted to put the parental advisory thing. She's like, these kids are listening to rock and the kids are listening to rap, hardcore rap, like NWA. This is what your kids are listening to.
Yeah.
And it's almost like...
Well, it is what your kids are listening to.
Yeah, I know. Where she's like, this is what your kids are listening to and it's bad. And now we look back and we're like, it's not that bad. But
I think it is. I think it is bad.
Point.
I think that is bad.
You think like rap?
Yeah, I think it is bad if like a 8-year-old kid is listening to "Fuck the Police" and like their parents don't know to not let them listen to that.
Yeah, I think it's but taking a government stance on it was okay, fair.
Yeah, I don't disagree with like parental advisory whatsoever. I think that that's essential, and it's not censorship, and it's not. But if I'm a person that is in charge of a little person, not a midget, but like a child,
a tiny human.
Like if I'm in charge of a child, that means that I should be allowed to like know what they're doing and listening to, and especially back then when it was like nowadays I don't know how you deal with that shit because like your kid can just get on the internet and listen to whatever. Even when I was a kid, like it was like I had to have my parents drive me to go buy CDs, and they were probably buying the CD. So it's like if they picked it up, if I lived back then and my kid asked me to go buy him shit, and I went and I picked it up and I was like, oh no, there's a song on here called "Fuck the Police." I'm not buying this for you. Sorry, it's not that I necessarily support the police. It's just like I don't want you to have that opinion at 8 years old.
Yeah.
I don't want you to fucking.
I don't want you to crystallize too young. That makes sense. So like, what about kids that play like Grand Theft Auto young?
Yeah, I don't think that's good. I'm so fortunate in the fact that I did play that when I was a kid, but like it didn't like detrimentally.
Didn't fuck you.
Yeah. But like it very well could have. It very well could have.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of kids that kind of.
Yeah, I think if you like already have that sociopath
it kind of breaks your governor
gene,
a little bit early.
Yeah. You shouldn't. And that was also part of it was that.
That's the question too. Do video games affect children's behavior? And
I don't know.
All signs point to no. So that's why it's
maybe not. Yeah,
that's why it's interesting to me to just. That's why it was on my own curiosity that I wanted to know what you thought about that.
Well, I don't think that video games like if you're 8 years old and you play Grand Theft Auto, I don't think it makes you more likely to go kill people in the streets, but I think that it certainly
lightens the palate
it certainly
a little bit.
Desensitizes violence for sure.
Yeah.
So it does affect, but to what extent? Who knows?
Is
the same extent that movies with murder in it could affect you.
I wish it was just more sex and stuff rather than violence, because like violence isn't fun for me, but sex is super cool. I'm a big fan.
Yeah,
I like it because that's what we do. You know.
Yeah.
Why do we have to like cover up boobies?
Mm-hmm. Free the nipple.
Free the nip. Actually, that makes sense. If you like, it's kind of one of the things. If you expose them to it, they become desensitized to it, so it's not as appealing.
Yeah.
So like.
But I think that's fine.
But if you do it with, but if you kind of like make violence taboo, it'll be so much more violence.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what is happening. But I don't think that like.
I mean, think about making sex taboo. You get more light bulbs and Miss Buttersworth bottles of buttholes.
Yeah, I would love to see Aunt Jemima's butthole.
Is it Miss Aunt Jemima or Mrs. Buttersworth? That's the game you play.
Oh.
Which one slides in quicker?
I don't know, man, but I certainly want to see those two get hot and heavy with each other. Unless Aunt Jemima is Mrs. Butterworth's aunt. We never thought about that.
Aunt Jemima, Mrs. But Aunt Jemima is clearly black.
Is Mrs. Butterworth?
Mrs. Buttersworth is white.
Well, she's more like maple.
With
colored.
a name like Buttersworth.
Mm-hmm.
She's maple.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's Native American.
She's native.
Yeah, PewDiePie though. Video games. I don't know. It's hard. It's a very hard conversation.
Yeah.
But I think that like when it comes to like PewDiePie, like I don't know. I think that I certainly don't like him being representative of like video game culture, but you know.
I don't like him being representative of anybody because he's just a grown ass man talking to kids like a goofball.
Yeah, he's a little weird. He's a weird character.
He's just a weird guy. If he was super cool, like relatable, but he doesn't seem relatable.
No, not at all. No.
But also,
well, he's relatable to children, but that's
man.
that's weird. Well, he's probably younger than you. I'm pretty sure he's like 24. I'm pretty sure he's like my age. Yeah.
God, I feel like he's like 30 something.
I don't think so. I think he's really young. Phil, will you look that up for me? How old is PewDiePie? He's a young man.
And he's making millions of dollars.
He's a young boy.
27.
So
So we're the same age.
So yeah, he's the same age as you.
So every time I feel like I'm not doing anything in my life, I look at PewDiePie, who's making a ton of money, but
Well, he's also not
regressing.
doing anything with his life. So
So I wanted to. What do I want to talk about? Oh yeah, Phil dropped this one in. Today, the iPhone 8 was released.
and X,
I have to clarify. Yeah, thank you. All right, good.
iPhone 10,
Well,
iPhone 8 and iPhone 10.
It was unveiled. It was 8.
8 and 10 were revealed today.
What?
Yeah.
Apple
No
unveiled
9.
the
No
iPhone
9.
8 and the iPhone 8 Plus at its press event. It looks a lot like the 7 and the 7 Plus, but with a glass back. Oh, that sounds fun. Let's break it.
Throw that glass back.
It has a single camera. The iPhone 8 has a single camera, while the 8 Plus has the double camera. It comes in silver, space gray, and the new gold finish, and it looks like the mix between the rose gold and rose gold. These phones are sealed to be water and dust resistant, which is kind of dope. Apple also announced that the iPhone X at the same conference, a new premium model with a screen that fills the front of the device, so like no beveled edge. It's pretty rad. There's a new Retina HD display, and it has. You gonna get it, Matt?
Fuck no. Maybe the iPhone 8, but I don't trust this iPhone X. Have you heard about its new features?
Is that the same? That's the one that with the. No, show it to me.
This iPhone X, this one's crazy. I mean, iPhone 8 is just new.
It looks like a tablet.
But the iPhone X is fucking crazy. It doesn't have it doesn't have a home button, so it doesn't do thumbprint unlock anymore. It can read your face.
Well, they have,
Like the camera can read your face.
there are some computers that have that. HP computers.
Yeah, I
have
don't
for a while.
like that. I don't like that. I'm not a fan. Also, have you seen the new emojis on the iPhone X?
Are they awesome?
So they're called animojis.
Oh,
And you
they're
can
GIF emojis.
if you like press the emoji before you send it, you can if you make a face like if you smile, it'll make the emoji smile. And if you can do a video where you talk and it's like the poop emoji talking and it's your voice. So instead of hitting the microphone and like sending an audio file, you can send an audio emoji. It's weird. It's weird. I don't like
Here's
it.
the thing: is I'm not good at it. Like I'm not good at using GIFs. I'm not good at memes. I'm not good at emojis. I use the
This
same
is
emojis.
more like a Snapchat thing feature. That's what they do with the whole face stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a
Like
face
facial
filter. Yeah.
I don't. I wish that I was good at it because I feel like it's fun. You could be really creative with it, but I don't necessarily think that I'm good at it.
No, it's a little too much.
I'm starting to feel old.
We're
is what I'm
getting
saying.
there. I think we've hit the precipice. I liked boring phone features more than I like these useful ones because I don't trust these useful ones. Like I was a big fan of the of like what were some dumb, because remember the iPhones would come out and be like, why we don't need that fucking feature. Help me out here. Like
with the geo level.
yeah.
Well,
yeah,
that
yeah.
helped because it ended up making maps more efficient
Yeah.
because it could tell you had the gyroscope or whatever,
Yeah.
so you could figure out which way
What
you were-
direction you were going in?
Yeah, and then the level and stuff, and it was like use it as a compass. That was cool, but they just kind of integrated that seamlessly. That seemed like more back end.
Yeah. It's
What
also this iPhone X is $1,000.
Yeah,
Go
but
fuck
or
yourself.
$50 a month.
$1,000, $50 a month for the next 17 years.
I mean, until you're. Well, I know AT&T
They
does a
literally
plan.
cuff it to your arm.
I'm renting this phone, or whatever. I just pay for it,
Mm-hmm.
and then I get my whenever I'm eligible for my upgrade. I
Yeah.
can just get it.
Yeah.
So I thought about getting an 8.
I might get an 8. I only do even number iPhones. Not on purpose. It's just my first one was a 4, and if you upgrade every 2 years,
Yeah.
that means you get. So I might get it available for an upgrade for the iPhone 8. So I might get an iPhone 8. Not gonna get a Plus. I'm not a minority. So
Or a girl.
or a girl, or a mom.
They're too big.
But way too big. No reason for a Plus. Get a fucking iPad.
So the first day that I got my phone was my this 6,
Mm-hmm.
but before this I had the 6S, and I had the 6X for 2 days. It was so big, and I remember the day because I was watching Michigan State versus MTSU
Mm-hmm.
in March Madness in round 1, and I watched
Who won that game?
MTSU. Fuck you, Reggie Upshaw. I'm coming for you. Don't dare you fuck up Denzel's legend. But yeah, I watched it and it was so big I couldn't even fit it in my pocket. And like I know that like when you could sit down on it, you could bend it and stuff. And I was like, oh, I went to the store. I'm like, dude, same guy. 2 days later, I'm like, dude, too big. He goes, Dude, you'd be surprised how many people say that.
Yeah.
Here, just wait right here, and I'll bring you another one.
Yeah.
You brought me this guy.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't know. As long as this is about as big as I need a phone to be. So if
Agreed.
even if the 8 if the Reggae 8 is bigger than this, then I won't get a new one. But this is also honestly a little too big. I like the size of the iPhone 5.
Me too.
I think I think
was
the
better
iPhone
because it was slim.
5 we're going to look back and say that was peak phone.
Yeah, like right there, boom.
Yeah. iPhone 5 was peak cell phone, and then,
It was sleek.
we got greedy.
It
We
was
got
sleek.
greedy.
I really liked it a lot. So everyone's all about Apple or these Apple events all the time. I'm kind of getting tired of hearing about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a doomsday cult. I mean, I'm a big Apple fan. I use all Apple products, but like,
I'm ready to move on, I think.
you ready for another in the
Yeah, I
game?
think I'm ready to get off of Apple. I just need Samsung to like make a cool commercial, and I'm fucking on board. Honestly.
I just need Samsung not to feel so cheap.
Yeah.
Their
put
interface is
put a
gross.
neat song in the next fucking Note commercial.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And I'm
tell me
down.
That you love me
But they're
more.
not marketing towards me.
Nope. They're marketing towards
sleek white boy. That's what I am.
Oh, slick stinky boy.
Mm-hmm.
Love that. Any other stories? Any other takes on Apple?
No, we're just getting there, man. I don't like this. I don't like the I'm not a big fan of the Apple press conferences.
Yeah, they were really hot when Jobs was doing them. When he came back,
Yeah.
and they released the iMac.
Back when
we
they
watched
were
that in
revolutionary.
School. It was awesome.
But now they're just like with these price points, and there's like they're like putting out 3 new. It's like fucking Marvel movies. It's like if you did one a year, I'd be down. I'd be so down. Also, if you made them just a little complex and made them, compelling characters, I might watch them. But if you have like 14 Apple events a year, and like each one, it's like a new $1,500 product that I can't afford, and it's like you just made this one tiny little fix to it. Like I'm out. I'm out.
We
Sorry.
got rid of the Enter key.
Yeah, I'm also really getting big on the conspiracy that I don't think it's a conspiracy. I think it's like a pretty well known thing that they like they throttle every time a new product comes out, they throttle an old one.
Yeah.
So like I feel like today iPhone 4 has just literally exploded all across the world. They just put that in the iOS update.
That's fair.
Self-destruct.
People that still have iPhone 4s, I respect.
Yeah, I have one. I don't use it
I
anymore.
know, I
though.
still have it too.
I don't think there are. I don't think anyone uses an iPhone.
Uh,
I think if you try to
friends-
turn one on, it would creak.
My friend Sally, it
He-
runs real slow.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure like 85% of his storage goes towards iOS updates.
That's probably true. By the way, if they wanted to make a real fix to this to the iCloud, just allow me to opt out of using it. Because I always get the notification, you're out of storage. Do you want to upgrade or do you want to manage? When I open up fire up my computer or my phone, I'm like, you have to go into the manage thing in order to do it.
Yeah.
It's kind of annoying.
Yeah.
That's just me. A new Apple Watch is out too. I'll probably watch a lot of these when I get home. I mean, Apple Watch for me wasn't a. I mean, did you used to use yours?
No.
Did you return it?
No.
You should just sell it.
Yeah, I think I might sell it. I don't know. Well, at this point, they announced a new one, so I'm not gonna get that much money
No,
for
that's
it.
what you sell it for. That's the time that you sell it when the new one comes out. Because people know that people are selling them, and the price just gets lower as time goes on.
I might look into that.
Do it.
It's been sitting in my car for like 4 months, so it might be dead. It might have melted.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
You
It's
just
sitting in the middle console
You
of my
spent
car.
a lot of money on that.
Well, fucking, what do you want from me? Was this an intervention? Yeah, I waste money like very often.
Yeah.
What do you want from me?
Yeah.
I buy shit. All right, and I never use it. I used it, but
It's just kind of more complicated than it needs to be, right?
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the new one's even worse.
I can't find the function of them.
Yeah.
I can't apply it in my daily life. It just seems like they're trying to make me live a lifestyle that I don't necessarily live. But yeah. You want to do stray stories? Anything else, Matt?
I have one more story.
Let's throw it in there.
I haven't had a porn story in a while. I don't
God,
think.
thank God.
This comes from another one from Washington Post. Comes from their Power Post section. I don't know what that is. This was written by Ed O'Keefe and Avi Selk.
More like Ed O'Queef.
After Ted Cruz liked a porn tweet, Senator Ted Cruz blamed, quote, a staffing issue.
Like a staph infection.
Senator Ted Cruz woke up Tuesday to find his name trending on Twitter, linked overnight to a certain video from the MILF Hunter series. Perhaps unfairly, perhaps irrevocably. The clip itself is just over 2 minutes. Details of its contents mostly unprintable. It features a sectional sofa, the pornographic actress Corey Chase, her fictitious nude stepdaughter, and a very energetic young man. Cruz, of course, is nowhere to be seen in the footage, which has been floating around the internet for more than a year. But around midnight Eastern time, someone signed into the senator's official Twitter account and clicked a little heart below the video, and thus did at Ted Cruz like porn. So somebody, this is what Ted Cruz is saying, someone hacked into his account
And like
and liked a MILF Hunter's porn clip on Twitter.
Whoever it broke
from a year and a half ago. Or from over a year ago.
I mean, hey, what do you think?
Well, it's not about what I think. It's about what the senator said. Quote, it was a staffing issue and it was inadvertent. It was a mistake, end quote.
Staffing issue. Who are you staffing people to run your Twitter and they're just liking stuff thinking it's their page?
He said that a number of people in his office have access to the account. Okay. At what point can we just let people like shit? Like, at what point can we just say, yeah, my name is Ted Cruz. I'm the senator of Texas, and I like to watch MILFs convince their young stepdaughters and their boyfriend into fucking me, okay? I like that. Sue me, internet. You know how many more voters he would gain if he admitted that?
Oh, yeah, and it's bad for his brand because he's basically booked as billed as a asexual piece of shit.
Yeah, we've all from Pornhub, okay? Texas loves MILFs, okay? Texas is like two things.
2017 loves MILFs.
Yeah, they like high school football and MILFs. And where you catch
Actually,
more?
by the way,
You
you know
catch
what
more
crossover is?
MILFs at a high school football game than you are a honey bee and fly. I don't know what the fucking.
The crossover? Friday Night Dykes.
You said the crossover. That's hashtag Jimmy
No,
Fallon.
they're the crossover.
Oh,
No, this is hashtag. Where they meet. Where they meet.
yeah.
Friday Night Dykes.
Friday Night Dykes.
High school football.
Is that a
MILFs.
porn series?
It should be.
Should
If it's
be.
not, let's produce it. We've got a studio.
The funny thing is that this didn't even come from the Pornhub website or wherever the MILF Hunter series is from. It comes from Sexual Posts. Sexual with 2 L's because Sexual Post was taken. So Ted Cruz follows Sexual Posts, an offshoot account of a porn website. And sometimes he accidentally likes porn videos. I never knew Ted and I had so much in common. What's wrong with this? What's wrong with the guy just liking videos? Who doesn't like it?
I don't know.
You sit any straight man in front of that video,
He's going to be like, oh, this is pretty cool.
They're gonna like
Look
it.
at that angle. It's a good angle. Is that the mom or is that the daughter? I don't know because the definition for MILFs is very fluid in 2017. Yeah.
this is a problem. This is what I don't like. This is what I don't like about commentary, specifically political commentary, is that people like everyone that makes fun of Ted for doing this probably also watches porn, and it's like, why are you holding him on such a higher pedestal than you?
Because he's a
When
public
people are always
servant.
like, the president shouldn't say that. Would you say it? Yeah, but the president shouldn't say
The
that.
other day, he's like, when he sided with the Democrats on the Dreamers bill and on the debt ceiling bill, Ivanka came in and like pissed off all the other GOP people, and then he talked about it at a rally.
Daddy, yeah.
Can I come with you? And I like it when she does that. She can call me daddy. I like to be called daddy. I like it.
Sue me.
Sue me. I like it. You know, are you on Sexual Posts right now? He
just said the pinned tweet for Sexual Posts was, "Thanks for watching, Ted."
It's funny.
That is pretty funny. Oh, Jesus Christ. I always forget that you can do this on Twitter. Yeah, you can just put dicks and butts on Twitter. Jesus Christ,
Man.
Twitter. Get it together. I'm offended.
Man.
My kids are on this site.
I'm gonna try to get straight stories, Matt. I don't think there are any because it was mostly Irma for me. That's all I got. I'm going to call it a gay.
Call it a gay.
I said day.
Oh.
Or cuck. Call it a cuck.
Guys, this has been Pop Topics episode. What episode is this? 63. Episode number 63. I am one of your hosts, Matt Boyd. I'm Matt Neil Boyd, Neil with an A on Twitter.
And I'm Casey Shaheen at Gym Class Tryhard across all social media.
We will be back here next Tuesday from 4 till 6 or whenever the show ends. If you're on the YouTube page right now, please like and subscribe. If you're listening on iTunes, go over to facebook.com/5051radio. Find the YouTube link to this to the video, and we're looking to get 100 subscribers.
It's slowly building, but we want more. We want more.
If we get 100, we can get a custom URL. So fucking just help us do that. Why don't you?
Hey guys, things are happening. Things are happening. Be good.
We have
Be
28
safe.
subscribers. We had 25 when we started the show today.
It's true.
So that means that by episode 93, we'll have 100 subscribers.
Man, I can't wait.
It's less than a year. There's that.
Boop.
Thanks for watching, guys. We'll be back next week. Have a good one. Love you.